guys know that I rant a lot on this channel, and we talk a lot on this channel about how the American soccer system just doesn't work. We do things backwards compared to the rest of the world, and we're building a sport that the rest of the world doesn't recognize. That is changing, and it's changing dramatically with the rise of the USL as opposed to the MLS, Major League Soccer. And so today we're going to learn about a club who's doing things the correct way, apparently, and I want to see what you guys think about this. Let's get into it.
Major League Soccer will never admit this, but there's a low-level club playing in Maryland right now that absolutely frightens them. Their big crowds and robust support shows the MLS's closed system is actually detrimental to soccer stateside. It's proof positive that the MLS is positively holding the sport back. But most important of all, it's a confirmation that what matters is not the league name or owners or players, it's the club and the crest. And this crest just happens to have a blue crab pinching a soccer ball. Annapolis Blues FC are on an extraordinary run of success despite only having been in existence for 3 seasons now. And this run of success is not entirely tied to on-pitch results. The Naptown-based side finished 4th in the Chesapeake division of the sprawling USL 2 setup this season. Shout out Ballard.
So I don't know if you guys know, if you're the first time learning about the USL, just last year or earlier this year, the USL, United States Soccer League, voted to have promotion and relegation. And so there's actually a league system now in the United States. This is the USL League 2. So this is a lower division team. Let's back this up just slightly.
On-pitch results. The Naptown-based side finished 4th in the Chesapeake division of the sprawling USL 2 setup this season. Shout out Ballard FC and Vermont Green FC, who are playing in the championship game this weekend. And if you are watching after that championship game has been played, I guess congrats to the winner.
Ballard FC will make their way to the national final.
As for Annapolis Blues FC, the
American soccer announcers, very different.
Crabby Club's first 2 seasons were spent in the National Premier Soccer League, where they finished at the top of their division and advanced to the super complex NPSL soccer postseason. The real success of ABFC, which is not an acronym their fans use, but I'm going to use for the sake of this video, is the overwhelming support they have received from the community. In the club's first 2 seasons, every last NPSL attendance record was shattered.
Wow.
There have been 11 7,000 plus gates in the league's history, and all but 1 took place in Annapolis. What they've accomplished is unheard of. The sides move up to USL 2 saw it break the league's single game attendance record with a massive crowd of 12,853 turning up to see them play against Christos FC. That club, by the way, is also a great...
Wow, so we actually are starting to see some of what you see overseas or just in the rest of the world. There's actually that actually seems like there is real passion from these people. It actually seems like a small team starting from the grassroots at the lowest level can shatter attendance records as we grow up the ranks. This is just showing that Americans can adjust to this system of sports. They actually would love it. Imagine if the USL could grow and expand to such an extent where every town has a club and every town has a committed following like this. And over time, you'd start to see this actually explode just like it does everywhere else in the world. I love that. I love the fact that there is a grassroots effort among an American sports market. That's awesome. That is so cool to see that they are so invested in their team that no matter that they're following them up as they promote and they are shattering attendance records. That's so cool.
Great, unique story, supported by Christos Discount Liquors, just your neighborhood local liquor store out by BWI Airport. They've been playing semi-pro soccer for quite some time now. Anyway, as for ABFC, they do have a pretty huge significant advantage that is playing at Navy Marine Corps Stadium with its 34,000 seats. Sure, Little Rock Rangers plays at War Memorial Stadium, but usually they only get a couple of thousand fans. So just playing games in a large stadium isn't reason enough to explain why such huge crowds are turning up for a
Yeah, what are they
NPSL
doing?
side and now a USL2 side in Maryland. To draw these large crowds for 3 consecutive seasons is also extremely impressive. It would be one thing to have popped a number in year 1 or to get that one large crowd per game each season. What Annapolis Blues FC is doing now is sustained success. This is not a case of a few stragglers randomly showing up to catch a game once and then never returning, or a looky-loo just wanting to see what the fuss is about. This club, Annapolis Blues FC, have built true fans and quite a few of them. Now, Morning Kickaround has mentioned this could be due in part to the limited number of games ABFC does play each season. And let's be honest, USL2 schedules and NPSL schedules are not the most robust. You get 6, 7, 8 with the playoffs if you're lucky. That is a fair point. The club isn't playing 17 home dates like you would see in the MLS or USL Championship. Then again, maybe having pro teams come to town instead of semi-pro ones would offset that. Also, Morning Kick Around, really good stuff there if you want to get into all of the stories from the American soccer landscape, not just MLS or USL, but from top to bottom. They cover it all. It's far more informative than whatever it is I think I'm doing here. So go check them out. I'll put a link to their channel in the description of this very video. For Annapolis Blues FC, the question has become what's next after this really impressive 3-year run? Should they go pro? Do they need to take more steps forward? If they go professional, of course, they can either move up to USL 1 or maybe they set their sights on the USL champ.
So it's crazy. I mean, I never thought I would see the day, and this is insane to me, that a non-professional team can draw a crowd of 12,000. Like to draw a crowd and have a fan base this committed and not be a professional side in the American sports system doesn't seem like it would happen. Now, because the way that our sports have just always worked, no matter what sport, it works this way. You have your high school teams. You can, for some high schools, big schools in Texas, you can get a lot of fans. So for some high schools in American football, you can get up to 20,000 people to show up for a high school game. I mean, that's a little extreme, but I mean, yeah. But to see a team, just the way it's worked, it's gone high school, college, pro. That's just the system. That's the way it works. You get really good in high school, so college scouts can come scout you to come play for their university. Then you play at the university level, and then NFL scouts or NBA scouts or whatever will start scouting you, and then they're going to draft you. And so that's just the system that we have that works. So I never thought I'd see a day when a semi-pro team, a non-professional club, would draw the crowd that these people are drawing for this club. This is crazy. This is awesome. This is looking like what football looks like. I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments if you think I'm off here. This looks like football to me.
Championship. With promotion and relegation possibly becoming a thing, who knows what that pyramid is going to look like in the future anyway. I understand why these conversations about Annapolis Blues FC potentially going professional are taking place. I understand why it is a source of interest in some circles. Personally though, I think you're really burying the lead here big time, might I add. The real story as it relates to ABFC is that they have managed to do the sole thing MLS and its clubs and its owners have spent a decade telling us was impossible. That local clubs in random locations playing outside of the tippy top flight would never work. You have to have big markets with biggish names to be successful in the States. Blah, 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 TV money, blah, 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 market size, blah, 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 soccer specific stadium. The argument of MLS that these are what you need to be the top flight of American soccer. Barf. Oddly enough, TV market size, by the way, is irrelevant.
It's true. Man, we operate everything by our business practices. It doesn't make business sense to do this. And, you probably got a bunch of these guys with MBA degrees, Master's in Business Arts or Administration, whatever the MBA stands for. You have these business guys in here, and they know what they know about markets, and they know about, how to, they know the thing about how to market something and how to get So yeah, doesn't make business sense to start with a small town, with a small market, with a non-professional club with no big names, except for the fact that this is how it works everywhere else. And I think what they ought to do is take a step back and go, wait a second. The system really works in every other country in the world. Why don't we just do that system instead of trying to reinvent something? It's crazy.
Relevant when you paywall your product on a mid-sized streaming platform. Oh yeah, MLS had the US Soccer Federation conveniently rewrite its regulations on being a tier 1 league in the States to include streaming, because originally that point in the regulations said TV broadcast. There had to be TV broadcast, and then MLS wants to go to Apple, and all of a sudden it then includes streaming as well. What do you know? The deal would oddly enough go on to be part of ABFC's origin story. DC United play-by-play man Dave Johnson was booted by Apple when they took over MLS's TV. It was an unceremonious move considering Johnson's connections to soccer in this part of the world. I mean, dude was going to Diplomats games way back in the day. However, he would go on to become a minority owner in the Annapolis Blues FC, in addition to still passionately covering DC United. Johnson is very much a class act, a true legend of the DC area. The majority owner of Annapolis Blues FC is Michael Hitchcock, who's not a local, and he's doing something, I don't know what he's up to with his...
I'm sorry, I'm listening to what he's saying, but I want to read the NPSL, 4th tier in U.S. Soccer Pro-Am Pyramid teams. Annapolis Blues, Fort Worth Vaqueros. That's where I live. I live in Fort Worth, so this should be my team. Fort Worth Vaqueros, Texas, launched in 2014 and averaged over 2,000 fans per game at LaGrave Field on Panther Island. I know where that's at. Vaqueros have launched a free youth academy for inner city kids. And did you hear that? Did you hear that? A free youth academy. So this is not pay to play. Like the NPSL, 4th tier in U.S. Soccer Pro. The NPSL is actually doing football the way that it's supposed to be done. In 2023, Vaqueros celebrated a decade of growing soccer in the city of Fort Worth, which included 2 home games at TCU Soccer Stadium that averaged over 1,500 fans per game. Okay, we can do better, but that's awesome.
Venture of pro rel soccer ventures, just owning a bunch of lower level US soccer clubs. That aside, there are many other local owners for ABFC, including players with ties to Maryland in Alex E. and Kyle Beckerman. It's not just these local owners, it's the local sponsors who support the team, and it is the fans who have decided this nothing team, in, with all due respect to USL2 and the NPSL, what is very much a nothing league, means far more to them than their local club in that big time soccer league. Oh yes, DC United, what was once the standard bearer for American club soccer, were purchased by carpetbaggers in the 2010s and have since been left to wilt on the vine. I'll never forget when Eric Tohier sold some of his interest in DC United to Yo Gotti, of all people. Yo Gotti, whose only connection to DC United was being in Memphis the same time the club's...
All right, so I want to talk about this fact. The fact is, this can work in the United States. I'm getting excited just watching this video to see that there is such a passionate fan base connected to a team that is now starting to usurp the big market MLS. This is what I hope would happen, and I hope it happens in other localities too, where you have a big MLS market, but the fans actually gravitate to the grassroots team. The fans actually gravitate to the lower tier team because there's a community effort. There's a way to get involved in the club. Man, I hope that happens. So this team is already starting to push against DC United. That's awesome to me. That's a good sign. I'm going to end the video here. I don't normally like to stop reactions short in the middle, but I feel like we've covered the topic that I want to cover in this video, and I hope you guys can leave a comment in the comment section down below. I have to get out of here because I got to get to my day job. So if you want to help me get out of my day job, smash a like for me, because that really helps other people see this video. Man, it just takes a few seconds. If you smash the like button for me, other people see it in their algorithm. Man, I'd appreciate that. That'd really help me out. I'll see you guys in the next video. Let me know in the comments, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? And go check out the touchback here. Let me show you. The touchback is the content creator that we just checked out. Go check out his channel. And yeah, a lot of good content there if you want to check out the rest of the video. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one.